What is up, everybody? Today is October 10th, 2025. We are going into the week 6 NFL slate, week 7 for college football. And we got some exciting games this week, especially in college, but also NFL. Got a good Sunday night game. Um Hopefully Jags Seahawks can be close, competitive. Just hoping for some competitive football this weekend all around. Okay? But today I want to get into some picks, okay? Time to make some bread. All right? So I got 3 NFL picks against the spread and 1 college pick. I feel like a lot of people tend to force a number of picks, maybe they're herd power 5, whatever you want to call it, and they force 5 picks that they don't they might like 2 of them. So I'm not going to force any picks that I don't actually like. Um I'm going to start with NFL first, and then I'll give the college pick at the end, okay? First NFL pick of the week against the spread is the Steelers minus 5.5, okay? Now, there are some things, some red flags in this. The Steelers at home of a favorite, not great historically. Mike Tomlin is a is where you want to bet when they're a home dog. The Steelers home dog are crazy against the spread historically, but um the Browns are on 3 road games in a row, I believe, and coming from London. So big home field advantage for the Steelers here. And it's Dylan Gabriel's second start. I like the Steelers here. At least, I mean, the 5.5 is tough to take. If you get this at 2.5, it'd be perfect. Everyone would be hammering it, because I don't think there's a world where Cleveland wins. But maybe if it's a low scoring game, there's a backdoor cover where Pittsburgh is up 10 late and Dylan Gabriel gets a touchdown and they lose by 3 and the bet loses. But I think that's a, pretty much the only scenario where that could happen. Um, I would think it's like a 23-10 game, something like that, 23-13, um, maybe 23-17, you just barely make the spread, something like that. Um, Pick number 2 of the NFL slate. This game has moved a bit just recently throughout the entire week. This was at plus 1.5 for the Seahawks in Jacksonville. It is now flipped to minus 1.5 for the Seahawks in Jacksonville. I still like the Seahawks side in this game. This could be some Jags bias because I just saw them rip my heart out against the Chiefs. Still processing that loss, so I don't want the Jags to win, but I do also think that some of their luck has to regress with the turnovers. They are leading the league in turnovers by far, and turnovers tend to come in bunches, and you can go through droughts in turnovers. So I don't think they're going to get 2 turnovers or a 99-yard pick six in this game. So I like the Seahawks. I will say that amount of travel going from Seattle to Jacksonville is probably the longest flight trip you can make besides going overseas in the NFL. Um, so that is one spot to be a little weary of, but I like Seattle in this spot. I think Seattle's just the better team. Um, Especially if you get them at plus 1.5, you never know. Missed extra point, they happen in the league. Uh, but at minus 1.5, I don't think you're getting. I still think there's value there. For the third and final NFL pick of the week, I've got the Chiefs at minus 2.5. Um, it's really simple. You get Patrick Mahomes at home of a favorite less than a field goal. That's just a hammer. Historically, you can look it up. It's insane percentage against the spread, straight up, all of it. Um, the Chiefs don't lose in this spot, and when they win, it's usually by 3 or more. So yeah, I'm taking KC at -2.5, and if you're feeling frisky, you could even do alternate line to like 5.5, 6.5. Um, get a little bit more value there. Detroit's pretty injured as well, especially in the secondary. Um, Kirby Joseph, Terrion Arnold, both probably not going to be playing this game. Um, Detroit's on back-to-back road games as well. They played in Cincinnati last week. Now going to KC at night. Tough place to play. I like the Chiefs in that spot. Also a game that they need. Can't go 2-4 to start the season. In terms of like trying to still win the division, I do think that division is going to play out throughout the entire year because I think the Chargers are going to start to bounce back from the O-line injuries and will start to rack up some wins. And I will mention one other NFL pick that I like it. It's one of the underdogs that I like this week. Pretty much the only underdog that I like this week, and that's the Bears on Monday night at +4.5. It is on the road in Washington, but I think no matter what, I expect this game to be close, a back and forth game. The Bears are coming off a bye, and they need this game. I like Ben Johnson off a bye, gets to scheme up a little extra trickery or something like that, you know? So if you wanted one more NFL pick for an underdog, I would take Chicago at +4.5. But that one I wouldn't call a lock or anything like that. Just one that I lean towards a little bit. The rest of them, I mean, the lines are too small. Like Carolina +3. If you get the +3.5, you could like that, but you would, if you're taking Carolina +3.5, you would at least expect it to be a close game. And if it's a close game, you probably think Panthers are going to win. And I don't know if I can trust Bryce Young against the Cowboys because Dak always plays great against bad teams, and the Panthers are not a great team. Maybe it's a Rico Dowdle revenge game. I don't know. And then the Colts was at 6.5. I think there's value at 6.5 if you like the Colts against the Cardinals. But the Cardinals are such a big question mark in terms of what their games are ever going to look like. Every game they've been in has been close this year, and which isn't necessarily a good thing because they've played pretty weak opponents. They just had a massive collapse against Tennessee this last week. So it's really tough to say how they're going to respond to that. Kyler has also been on the injury report and limited in practice this week. So yeah, that's just a really tough game to bet. I like the Patriots money line in New Orleans. I think New Orleans is a little bit overrated right now. Um, because last week they did beat the Giants, but the Giants gave them that win essentially. Um, and the Patriots, I know they're probably a little bit overvalued coming off the big Buffalo win, standalone Sunday night game. I think that was Sunday night, right? Maybe Monday night. So the Patriots, you could say that they're getting a little bit more than they should be at -3.5. If it was -2.5, that'd be nice. But if you wanted a money line, I think the Patriots should win that game. Uh, the rest of them, I mean, Chargers -4.5, maybe. I would like it at 2.5, but the backdoor covers a little bit too open there. Rams more than a touchdown, probably the right side, but it's too many points. Bengals, Packers, too many points. Bucks are pretty injured. I feel like I could come to bite them. You get the point. You get the point. There's not really a whole lot of picks this week that I feel super strong in a lean towards. But the one college pick that I do like this week is Missouri getting 3.5 points at home. I don't necessarily feel super confident in Missouri winning this game. I do think it's possible. I do think it will be close. It'll probably come down to late game execution and which team wants it more. Whatever. But Missouri has had no road games this year, I believe, or I think they have had like 5 home games. This might be their 6th, and they have an insane running back, Ahmad Hardy, who is a transfer from some Louisiana school, and he's just been insane this year. Pretty much the best back in the country. But I will say, I think Missouri's a good team, but they haven't played crazy competition this year. You know, their best win was against South Carolina, which South Carolina now doesn't look like that great of a win, but at the time they were ranked. You know, Lenore Sellers was, going into the season looked at as a potential Heisman candidate. So their resume, not insane this year, but team wise, the way they've looked and played, they're a good team. And I think this game will be close. And you're getting more than a field goal for the home team. I like that spot for them. But it's more just like getting the value on the number. If you think Bama's gonna win, getting the 3.5 is just a little too much for me. If it was 2.5, take Bama all the way. But at getting more than a field goal, it's one of those opportunities where a backdoor cover is pretty open. Down 10, you're always going to be fighting to get that touchdown for an onside kick. So I like the 3.5 there for Missouri. And that is the picks for the week. I guess I kind of gave out 5 and not 4 with that last Bears one. But I don't know if I would actually end up betting the Bears at plus 4.5. I do think that game could be close, but Caleb's the type of guy where late in the game, if you are down 10 and you need the touchdown to get whether it's an onside or you're kicking off to get a stop with your 3 timeouts, he's going to be very aggressive because he knows that he needs it. So he kind of lets loose a little bit and can lead to some turnovers. But I do kind of like the Bears in that spot a little bit. I feel like I'm leaning more towards it the more I talk about it, especially coming off the bye, and the Commanders might have a little bit more value. They might be a little overrated number-wise from the performance last week against the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers are really depleted right now, and they lost to Marion Hampton in that game. So the Commanders might be getting a little bit more higher of a number than they should be. Yeah, I kind of like the Bears in that spot. But that is gonna do it for the picks this week. Let's hope for 5-0. I guess I'm calling that Bears an official pick. Why not? You know what? Why not? Okay, let's go 5-0. That Missouri pick is a little bit questionable, just because it's more of getting the value on the number than actually feeling like Missouri could blow out Alabama or something like that. But I like these picks. And hammer them, Thank me later.